This book, I have seen this in the library for a while. It's a fiction book. It's called Pictures of Hollis Woods by Patricia Riley. I'm going to read just a little bit of this. Hollis Woods is the place where a baby was abandoned, is the baby's name, is an artist, is now a 12-year-old girl. Hollis Woods, who's been in so many foster homes, she can hardly remember them all. Hollis Woods is a mountain of trouble. She runs away even from the Reagans, the one family who offers her a home. When Hollis is sent to Josie, an elderly artist who is quirky and affectionate, she wants to stay. But we're going to start on the first chapter. So this is kind of basically 4th grade level. So it might be interesting to 4th, 5th, or 6th grade. Pictures of Hollis Woods. Just seemed like a really interesting book. So I'll read the first, the prologue, and then probably the first chapter. First picture. This picture has a dollop of peanut butter on one edge, a smear of grape jelly on the other, and an X across the whole thing. I cut it out of a magazine for homework when I was 6 years old. Look for words that begin with W, my teacher, Mrs. Evans, had said. She was the one who marked the X, spoiling my picture. She pointed. This is a picture of family, Hollis. A mother, M. A father, F. A brother, B. A sister, S. They're standing in front of their house, H. I don't see one W word here. I opened my mouth to say, how about W for wish, or W for want, or W for wouldn't it be loverly, like the song the music teacher had taught us. But Mrs. Evans was at the next table by that time, shushing me over her shoulder. Hoo-wee, said the kid with dirty nails, who sat next to me. You don't know anything, Hollis Woods. I reached for my crayon and dug an X into her picture of a snow-white washing machine. Too bad you can't use it to get your hands clean, I said. When I think of my W picture deep inside my backpack under all the pictures I've drawn, I think of that poor washing machine kid who cried over her ruined picture and the frowning Mrs. Evans who told me to sit in the hall with a timeout tea letter for the rest of that long afternoon. You don't deserve to be with the rest of us today, she said. I sat for a while looking at a picture of a pointy mountain. Someday I would climb a mountain like that. I'd build a little house, and maybe I'd have a horse that would live right in the house with me, and a dog and a cat. When I saw the principal coming down the hall, I picked myself up and walked out the door. The woman I was staying with, I called her the lemon lady because of the way her mouth caved in, made me stay in the yard all weekend for that. You think you're so tough, she said. I'll show you tough. That foolish woman forgot that as long as I had a pencil and paper, I'd get along. I drew her with her pursed lips and then tied her picture to the tree for target practice with gravel from the path. But when I think of my W picture, mostly I think of the Reagan's house and branches. I think of the old man and Izzy and their son Stephen. All they needed to match my picture was a girl. G. And that's what I thought the morning I ran away from them, touching the great holly bushes, feeling their sharpness, and the sticky evergreen branches that hung over the dirt leading to town. I stopped to look up at the mountain, and then at the house half hidden in the hills, the gray porch tacked on the front, screens bellying out, the chimney leaning, the two windows upstairs that had been in my bedroom, and the river in front. My river, the Delaware. That day, I thought I'd never see any of it again. N for never. And in my mind, I drew an X over all of them, and over me, too. Okay, that's, I'm going to read the first 2 pages of chapter 1, and then I'll come back to it next week. The house was falling apart. I could see that from the car window, but it didn't bother me. After a while, the houses ran together. 4 now. No, 5. There was the greenhouse where the door didn't quite close. The wind blew in and up the stairs, rattling the window panes. The White House, crumbs on the table, kids fighting over a bag of Wonder Bread. The yellow house. Sooty, a long-haired woman with braids, no rugs on the stairs, the loud sound of feet going up and down. Ah, and the house in branches. Stephen's house. But that house was different. I'd never forget that one. Don't think about it, Stephen said in my head. I did that a lot. I pretended Stephen was right there next to me when I knew he was miles away in upstate New York. I wondered if he ever said to himself, "What is Hollis Woods doing right this minute?" And did he ever put my words in his head? The driver turned off the motor, and for a moment we looked out at the trees, the leaves, and just a tinge of red this October afternoon. "We're here, Hollis," she said, a woman in sweats, a mustard stain on the front from the hot dogs we'd eaten on the side of the road. Those hot dogs were a mean lump in the middle of my stomach, sloshing around with a Mountain Dew. She'd tried to talk all the way, but I hadn't answered. I slumped in my seat, feet up on the glove compartment, wearing an A&S baseball hat with a brim yanked low over my forehead. If someone looks into your eyes, I read in a book one time, he'll see right into your soul. I didn't want anyone seeing into my soul. I knew she was dying to tell me to get my sneakers off her dashboard, but she didn't. She was waiting to deliver her speech. I could hear her getting ready for it with a puff of breath. "This can be a new start," Hollis said, "a new place." She licked her finger and scratched at the mustard stain. "No one knows. You can be different. You can be good. Know what I mean?" Maybe she gave that speech to every foster kid in every driveway as she dumped them off like UPS guys dumping off packages on a busy day. But I didn't think so. I had looked into her eyes once, just for the quickest look, and I had seen that she felt sorry for me, that she didn't know what to do with me. "Too bad for you, mustard woman." Okay, we're going to stop right there. I think this sounds like it's going to be interesting, so I'll come back and I will read from there. See you later.